You are now listening to the Mental Health Check-In Podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to everyone listening, whenever you're listening. I'm Jam, your host for this time being, and you are listening to the Mental Health Check-In Podcast, a podcast dedicated to spreading mental health awareness as a means to help us all heal. I want you to heal, I want my guests to heal, I want to heal. I am healing. We are currently healing in this moment, so we might as well just heal together. My guest today, his name is Whyandotte. He's a rapper local to the Detroit area who Detroit listeners may recognize as a member of the Forever Golden Collective alongside Santana Davinci, J Squared, Curtis Roach, and Bfree. But on his own, Whyandotte just dropped his own solo project. It's called Happy Birthday 4, which is just tremendous. I'm not getting paid to say that. This isn't an ad. I just genuinely think that his album was incredible. It's an incredibly honest portrait of anger, grief, and recovery. And I feel like those qualities kind of make up this podcast in a lot of ways. So after hearing the album for about 3-4 times, it kind of hit me, hey, I want to have this person on this podcast. I need to have this person on this podcast. I felt like his perspective as it's showcased on this project, I thought it was valuable enough to share with the world through this podcast. I wanted to just pick his brain, so I did. And I hope you enjoy the brain picking, so to speak, that we went through. But first, I just want to remind you to follow him everywhere on social media at Whyandotte to keep up with his music, which he's actually dropping a music video for the song Gene coming up, so be on the lookout for that. He might have dropped it by the time I actually release this podcast episode, but go ahead, check that out, check him out, and check out his music everywhere it's available: Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, all that stuff. And if you like listening to today's podcast, I encourage you to share it with someone, post it to social media and other places, however you think you can share it. Because just from talking to like certain people in private, I've been told that these conversations I'm having on the podcast are actually helping people heal, to my surprise at least. These first few episodes have helped people understand their own trauma, understand their own grief. So if telling your friends about this podcast helps spread the message, spread the healing, then I think that's pretty cool, and y'all should keep it up. And if you really like this podcast and you want to hear more from us, I suggest that you follow us on social media to keep up with updates at Check-In Pod on Twitter and at Check-In Podcast on Instagram. And you can even email us at mentalhealthcheckinpod@gmail.com if you have any questions or feedback about this for me. But until then, on with the show. Welcome back to another episode of the Mental Health Check-In Podcast. My next guest is a local Detroit rapper. His name is Whyandotte. How you doing?
Good. You?
Good. How's your mental health doing these days? Oh yeah, I feel you. Is it like in like really rough, or just to check in?
uh, it's just it's a smooth 5 out of 10, man. It could be worse. It could be so much better. It could be so much worse.
Yeah, it seems like that's how a lot of people are these days. Just with everything going on, it's could be worse, but could be better. And I hope things get better for you.
Thanks. Me too. I hope so.
And the reason I wanted to have you on today is because I listened to your album Happy Birthday 4, which was, I really enjoyed it so much. It was really great. First off, was it actually your birthday when you posted this? Like, is this like a running thing, like posting an album on your birthday?
It wasn't. I'm sorry. It did drop on my birthday. It wasn't going to. I think it was gonna drop on SoundCloud on my birthday, and then for the mass consumption days later. But we were like, screw it. Your birthday's a Sunday. No one's doing nothing on a Sunday. Let's try it out.
How did you start that, like, sort of like ritual thing? Is that just because like it happened to fall on your birthday when you dropped like Happy Birthday 1, and then just every year it just happened to be a thing?
Oh no. Sorry if you hear like the outside, someone's driving a charger. So Happy Birthday just kind of became a thing out of nowhere. I made Happy Birthday 1 kind of randomly. I guess I just wanted to have something, and I created a Happy Birthday 1 and Happy Birthday 2. I think we got in the same year, and I was just like, oh, cool, maybe this will be a thing I do, like a series. And then Happy Birthday 3 was when I was like, okay, I'm I'm more serious about rap, so I'm gonna make it a thing. And Happy Birthday 3 just kind of that was supposed to come out on my birthday, but stuff happened, so it came out in August. So it's never been like a ritual to come out on my birthday. It might be now, but it was never planned.
Well, I like how the way it worked out. I think that's super cool. Like, not a lot of people do stuff like that. And like you said, that wasn't until like you didn't want to make it a thing until you became more serious about music. What made you become more serious about music?
Well, I always liked music. I mean, most people like music. It'd be crazy if you didn't. But I wasn't really good, and I'm not just saying that because like I like making fun of myself. I wasn't really good until like Happy Birthday 3 came out. Until then, it was kind of I was finding out what I like, what I don't like, whoop de whoop. And then Happy Birthday 3 that year was probably the worst year of my life, and
Mm.
due to just a lot of zany stuff happening. And so, and in that year, I guess I just wanted to have like a foot, like control of something. And so, with like my family doing this to me, my girlfriend, my ex girlfriend doing that to me, this, that, and the third, it was like, okay, I guess this is the year you should really put it out because I had a lot of cool stories to tell after that terrible year. And so I was like, mixtape.
I'm sorry you had such a bad year. Have you healed from that year since that happened?
Not at all. Not even a little. Not even that year. It's still the worst year of my life, and I say that as a first world citizen who got a bottle of water and access to food. So I'm very privileged. I know that, but I haven't healed from that. A lot of things happened that I haven't well that I've told my friends that I haven't put on like records yet, or if I have put on records yet, they're going for bigger things. So I haven't really healed from any of that.
Has like music at least like helped as like a coping mechanism, you think?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I only have two. I think I have three coping mechanisms. One of them is cooking because I can do something with my hands, and I like do something with my hands, feeling useful. Another one is I guess my sense of humor. I can make most things that happen to be funny, even if they're super not funny. And yeah, ever since I took it for real seriously, music has helped. Because before it was just like I like Jay Dilla, I'm gonna make beats like Jay Dilla, and then I realized, oh, nah, I'm not as good as Jay Dilla. And, and then I was like, well, if I can't be as good as Jay Dilla, I'll just be as good as me. And then I got a little bit better and better and better. That's helped a lot.
It definitely feels like you really your personality really shines and like your projects really encapsulate, especially with like Happy Birthday 3. Like you said, you really started to improve with 3. And I feel like you really came into your own as far as like flow, lyricism, just letting yourself shine as a person. And I'm really glad that you're not only able to improve in that department, but just kind of like cope with like everything going on through that. Especially with this latest album, which I want to go back to, had Birthday 4. I really like it, and not a lot of albums do this, where it just felt like an actual like emotional roller coaster. Like the first few songs, it starts very high energy, a little bit of anger here and there. Then the middle portion, it's more a little sadder, especially with a song like Gene, which I think is just incredible, by the way. And then you get songs like Happy Birthday and 3 Feet from Gold, which are really optimistic and high uplifting, I think. So with all that, I just want to ask, like, with everything with everything that's going on in your life and all the heavy stuff from the album, how are you able to come out with such a positive outlook, judging from the how the album ends?
I have no idea. I I want to say it's because even though, and my friends, all six of them, know that I'm very they call it pessimistic, which I agree. There's a huge part of that, but I think I look at things in a more realistic standpoint. I don't really have hopes in people or like the world for pretty much, but um, I didn't want to have a project that was basically like, yo, everything's screwed, because that's not like what. So
Right.
I do have some hope in things, and at least in my abilities, and maybe in the relationships I have, or the relationships that I want to form in my past ones. So I guess it was just based on me not wanting to come off that sad, and I just wanted something that everyone can relate to, because there are ups and downs, there's peaks, there's valleys. So people know me as like a very realistic or sad rapper, or like a very like personal rapper, but like I wanted to have some levity in it.
And I think it really worked out the way the album works. Like you said, it's kind of like life. There's peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows, and having to end on such an optimistic note, it's nice to like you can, like, you know how music works, like you feed off that type of energy. And like when things aren't so great in real life, it's great to come to a song like 3 Feet from Gold, and it just puts me in like a really happy, joyous mood. And not only thank you for doing the album, but thank you for dropping that song. That's one of my favorite songs of the year.
Thank you. That's
Mhm.
not for me.
And you mentioned like how you're trying to be optimistic about life and relationships and whatnot. And you mentioned six friends. I'm assuming those friends you're talking about is a Square Golden, right?
Yeah, Forever Golden. I got more than six friends. I
Mhm.
just like close, like physically close. It's like 6 or 7 friends, and then yeah. So it's Forever Golden. That
Mhm.
main, yeah.
Has being in Forever Golden like helped like give that sense of community as far as like helping you cope and helping you heal from things?
In the beginning, it did, because in the beginning, I've been in Golden since its inception. I'm one of the founding, I guess foundings, I guess main members, and we became a thing in 2014. It was a bunch of people. It was like 40 people, and then it was like 10, and then it was like 8, and now it's like 6. Um, and in the beginning, I was the engineer. I was the recording engineer. I was the mixer and member. I do all that stuff. And so being around everybody in that phase of of their creativity and of their mindset, it was nice to have people that like I might not agree with, but at least they're there, and like we can have a little bit of a conversation and stuff. Because I was a lonely, I'm very lonely still, but I was a very lonely person in 2014. I didn't really have a lot of like friends in high school or college and all like that. Now, Forever Golden, it doesn't necessarily help me in that way, because Forever Golden's members are very individual, so everyone's doing their own thing, and I don't get to see like half the members, because like well, two of them are in California right now, and one of them is Curtis Roach. So I'm never gonna see Curtis Roach unless he needs me to do something for him. This part, and so now it's just more of a I get to I see what I made. I can go back and realize I did this for Golden, and like I made this happen. So in the past it was more of a, but now it's more of a hands-on thing.
I'm glad you could still like have that relationship with them and just create like the create process with them, because that's hard to come by, especially in music. So like the fact that you all can just form this collective and just say, hey, we're going to do all this dope stuff. We're going to uplift people in music. We're going to uplift each other. Really, I just think that's super cool. Because how did you guys meet to begin with?
I let's see. Of the 5 members besides myself, I knew Santana Davinci since elementary school. So that was just off the rip. Golden was formed from the like the main founding member, J Squared. one of his friends or one of my close associates, fellow beat maker Kaya Beats, passed, and they had a funeral and a kind of like no, they had a vigil, and a bunch of people came together. Santana included, Jay included, her name Preacher came together. A bunch of people came together in his honor and created a group called Golden Triangle, which is mainly like video games and music. But then like the more people we got in, the more they had to weed out. And then at a point, Santana was like, "Yo, we need a producer. I know this guy named Nick Whyandotte. He'd be great." And then John came to my home. John came to my home. The first time I ever met him, he came in his Suburban 2001, and I handed him a hamburger. And ever since, yeah, that was just it. He came to my crib. It was like night. It was like 8 p.m. And he was like, "Are you Whyandotte?" I'm like, "Hey, yeah, what's up? You want a hamburger?" I just gave him a hamburger. And that was just, friendship, boobity bop. And then Kurt came later when we had to restructure a little bit. Free came before Kurt. And with Free, we got Bert, Free's brother. And so, yeah.
That's really beautiful. The fact that friendship can just start with just hand over a burger.
Yeah. Great American story, I guess.
Did you produce every song on the album? I don't know why that just popped into my head now, but did you produce everything on Happy Birthday 4?
Yeah. I try to produce everything I do. Yeah.
Do you prefer like doing production or just rapping?
I prefer rapping because I feel production-wise, my influences are very easy to spot, and you might not need me for that. Like in the beginning, it was a bunch of Jay Dilla, Best, and a bunch of just nice boom bappy producers. And now it's like Virginia Amir, Wonder Girl, Frank Dukes, a bunch of Toronto producers, and like you have them, so you might not need my spin on that. But like and I mean this in like the happiest way. The traumatic pieces of art that I can create, only I can create. So I feel like that's more valuable than like my production. I still love my production, but like my stories mean more to me.
I think that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. I probably should have asked this at the beginning, but just like, how are you like keeping sane during like everything going on? Like, try like stay positive.
It'd be easy to say I'm not, but that wouldn't be fair. Trying to keep myself busy in things that I want to do. I do a lot of things that I don't want to do, and those things just bring me back to the malaise and the ennui of it all. Like, man, I gotta cut grass. I hate it. This is like hours of my life for like nothing, and I try to so I guess keeping busy with things I want to do, whether it be music or just cooking a good meal or helping out my friends. I feel like if it wasn't for music, I would just be the dude helping people out, because that's kind of all I do anyway in music. So it's music, cooking, and like just general aid with my friends.
But I think that's really cool. It's difficult for a lot of people to like come out of their comfort zone like that. And like on these last few episodes of the podcast, I've been talking to people who have been saying that like coming out of your comfort zone, finding your passion or just finding a new passion really helps you, if not heal, then at least take your mind off of the more stressful, depressing things. And I'm glad that you can do that with like cooking and music and whatnot.
I agree. It's vital having something else to do.
And going back to Happy Birthday 4, like you got a lot of like unique songs in that, as far as like emotion wise, because like you got songs like Lesson in Crying Wolf and Living On, where you just pour your heart out and you're just really got this intensity, this intense anger. And you got songs like Gene, where you got this really, really sadness. Then again, 3 Feet from Gold, Happy Birthday to Me, just really overwhelming happiness. So I'm wondering, like, how do you get into that mode in music where you can just pull out like such natural emotion? Because I think that's difficult in music and really just life.
That's a very good question. I would say for the most part, it just kind of starts on like how I write the song in general. I don't necessarily like I write because I'm not Jay-Z, but like I don't like go into like most creators, we don't go into a point like, and now I'll write a song about happiness. It's just more like I have like a bar or like a thought in my head, and I just keep at it. It's a big block of marble, or in this case wood, and I'm just like chiseling it until it's something that I like. So like I knew for songs like Live on Always, that's just like clear as day. I see the gentrification of my city. I see white people with money coming in and investing in stuff that we don't care about because they just want to turn a profit. And I'm just like, ah! And like I see, I feel like A Lesson in Crying Wolf. The first verse is a diss because I hate this person. And I don't mean that in like I want them to like fail, but like I can't stand this person type thing. And then the second verse kind of just goes along with Living Always, where it's like, along with like all the people that are investing in the scene to make it better, I got to deal with like people that just want to look at me differently because I'm black, dude. I'm no different. I mean, I might dance better, but other than that, we the same. Yeah. My hair curly. I got a cool beard, but other than that, So, but for Gene, our songs is just for the middle of the album. Pretty much is just like I had to talk about deeper things like my grandmother's passing and like for second chances, which is also deep, but it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek song where people come to me with like their issues. Like I'm a therapist. They confide in me, and I appreciate that. But like on a bigger note, sometimes I don't care because like it's just you can't tell me the same thing over and over and expect me to really be that interested in it. And then for the last songs, sort of happier, those come like really easily because I feel like making a happy song, maybe it's because like I want to be happy, so it's very easy for me to do that because like it's something that I want to do. I want to be able to have this or be able to talk about this, rather than the beginning songs where it's like I'm stuck in it. Crap. So I have no idea, but maybe that could be it.
Hey, it works however you do it. Like that emotion just kind of like really resonates, especially at least with me, at least like it resonates really strongly, and it turned out to just be a really strong emotional album. And like I said, I just love albums like that. Last time I heard this album that was just really took you on like emotional roller coaster like that, it was Stevie Wonder's Talking Book. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And like the fact you're able to like duplicate that feeling, I think that it either shows potential to like where you can go musically or just shows like you're really on top of your game already, and I really dig that.
I like where your head's at.
So like with Happy Birthday 4 out, what's next? I'm just kind of curious there.
Probably Happy Birthday 5 because I like
Mhm,
just tradition.
mhm,
Um, my manager wants me to do a lot of things. Like he has like high hopes for me, which
mhm,
scare me because I'm a black boy from 7 Mile, bro. I just want money for Coney.
mhm,
I don't want millions of dollars. So
mhm,
I'd say Happy Birthday 5 for sure. Um, he says we can get it done this year, and we probably can, but it just depends on like how much I want to go hard on it for it, how big I want it, with the people that he wants me to talk to and work with, yada yada. So Happy Birthday 5, golden songs, because we have eyes on us now, which also scare me. Um, and just talking to people on Twitter, Discord, just trying to be more visual, more
mhm.
vocal.
Why does that scare you, if you don't mind my asking?
Because I have this idea, and like maybe it makes sense. Maybe I'm just blowing it, but I'm gonna see if you can roll with it. So like apparently, so I'm a Leo. I don't hold that much credence in any of that, but apparently, being a Leo, I love attention. Now, I wouldn't say I don't like attention, but I don't need a lot, all that eyes and stuff. But I think there's a part of me, deep inside of me, that's like, yeah, I want all of that. I want millions of fans. I want millions of dollars. I want this, that, and the third. But like outwardly, I'm a rising. My rising is Libra, which apparently means I'm trying to be more balanced and amicable and all that stuff. And that part apparently is just trying to be level, humble, maybe even self-deprecating to a fault, which I can agree that I am. And I feel like, for example, let's say my manager's like, Travis Scott wants to work with you. I'm like, no, you don't. But then we go through it, and then it becomes something big, and then like I get the attention that internally I think I deserve, and like I want this, that, and the third. I just don't want to be that type of guy. I'm very comfortable with being the very humble is not the word, modest dude. Just like, yeah, I still live in the house that my family been living in all these years. I don't want a lot, and so when people have high expectations of me, it kind of scares me because I also don't want to let them down. But they say I haven't, which means to me that I so have, and they just don't want to tell me about it. So it's a weird game I play with myself, and I lose all the time.
I mean, I think it makes sense. Like, it's not just like humbleness and modesty, but like you got a lot of pressure on you. Like you say, you got eyes on you and your entire group now. So there's natural pressure that comes with that. But like, not to blow smoke up any butts or anything like that, but just I think that like you don't have anything to worry about as far as just like living up to those expectations because I think you've got a lot of talent. I think you and Forever Golden really have a whole lot of talent, and I think that you have more, especially as a collective, you have more than enough talent to just dive in and just prove everybody wrong, prove everybody right, however it is, and just deliver some quality music. I think
That's the goal.
and I just want to like manifest just all this greatness for y'all because I think y'all deserve it. I've watched y'all grind for the last couple of years. Y'all been super hardworking, and I think that if you want a song with Travis Scott, then hey, give it a year, 2, 3 years. That song's coming. I'm manifesting that.
Hey man, I'm just happy to breathe in and out, man. Oh, I'm happy about.
I feel you. And this might be a good place to end it. Before we end, should I guess I should ask just for anybody not just aspiring to do music, but just aspiring to just I guess be happy, have a positive outlook. I know we talked about like how you kind of lack a positive outlook, but you want to be happy more than anything. So like I was just wondering if you have any advice for listeners who striving to get 3 feet from gold or get to that gold.
Whatever that you want to do, you gotta start. That's kind of the bare bones thing. Like no matter what it is, if you want to be a rapper, if you want to be a clothes designer, if you want to install sheetrock for a living, you gotta start. And the the start's the hardest part because you'll probably suck, and that's cool. We all suck at something, and then it just takes a lot of time and effort into doing it. Now, once you get to a point where like you're good, or you think you're good, or you think you're not bad, then it's the whole you have to reach out to people part and network, and that's the harder part for me. Like I'm at a point where I'm like, I think I'm good ish. I'm a solid 7, but then it's like I gotta talk to people, and I gotta sell myself. And if you don't know how to sell yourself, maybe find someone you can. But first things first, you gotta start and keep at it. You never know. You never know. It could, like you said, I could maybe have a song with Travis Scott in here. You just have to. You have to keep at it. My father, I ain't talked to him a lot because he's like dead. Sorry, but but he said like it's so funny. It's not. He said one thing before he passed. I remember it. He was like, "Yeah, you know what? You just gotta keep. You gotta keep hitting them. You gotta keep hitting. You gotta hit them hard. You gotta keep doing it because if you don't, they're gonna hit you back. It's gonna hurt. Just gotta keep hitting. And it's cool to get hit. You gotta keep hitting. You gotta keep swinging. So start and keep on. Keep on.
I really love that advice, both from you and your dad. That was all very well said. And I thank you for coming on the podcast. But first, I just have one more segment. I have this ongoing segment that I call giving people their flowers, where I just tell my guests why I appreciate them in case we never speak again. And I appreciate you just for having this really versatile and unique voice and flow that I think is really needed in music. Like the Sound Me Proud had Birthday for came at a time when I really needed it just on an emotional level. And I thank you for being willing to just share your experiences with the world in a way that's relatable, and it amounted to just one of my personal favorite albums of the whole year. Like again, not to blow smoke up any butts, but this legitimately one of the best albums I've heard all year so far. And on top of that, I just appreciate everything that you do with Square Golden, Curtis Roach, Bfree, all of them. I just love that you have this unity as far as uplifting each other to do better, grow, get better. You elevate each other's popularity. I think that type of unity is really inspiring. So I just wish nothing but the best for you, your group, and just everyone involved in the process. And again, I thank you for doing this music thing, and I thank you for coming on the podcast.
Damn, man. Why you had damn? We haven't confident beats like that in a minute. Oh man, I appreciate you a lot. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. And whenever, if you ever need me again, I'm 7 Mile. I don't go nowhere. I'll be right here for you, dog.
I appreciate you, man. And I'm Hamtramck. I'm not going anywhere either. So.
Oh shit, yeah. What's up? Bfree hometown.
Yeah. Went to the same high school and everything, man.
Oh shit. Now I'm talking about it.
Yeah. Tell him I said hey. And again, thank you for coming on.